what is meningitis? Meningitis is an inflammation of the meninges, which are the covering of the brain. In the United States, fortunately, meningitis is relatively rare. There are 1.3 cases per 100,000 people in the United States, which translates into about 4,200 cases per year. That's really for the most common and most concerning form of meningitis, bacterial meningitis. And about 500 of those are fatal cases. What are the various types of meningitis? There are two big groups that we think about: the infectious forms of meningitis, which of course are the most common, and then the non-infectious forms of meningitis, which are less common. From the infectious standpoint, there are viral meningitis, that's the most common. Bacterial meningitis, that's the second most common, but also the most dangerous. Then there's fungal meningitis, fortunately rare. Amoebic and parasitic meningitis, which also are quite rare, form the rest of the infectious meningitis. The non-infectious forms of meningitis are primarily in two groups. Occasionally, we see meningitis caused by an adverse effect of a medication, and the second most common form of meningitis is meningitis from cancer, where the cancer spreads to the covering of the brain and causes an inflammation. Meningitis has some forms which are preventable with vaccination, but most forms of meningitis are not preventable